Here we go.
Wake up with the Sleeper Boys podcast, hosted by me and my brothers Bill and Dean. On this week's episode, we get into what we did and saw over the weekend, a big reveal, weird food we like to eat, Dean's conspiracy theory of the week, and cap it off with Bill's Balls games. Dean, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was good, man. Did a little, went golfing on Saturday. We're back to the terrible golf weekends over the spring and summer here.
We're back.
Didn't play well, but I think I watched a couple of videos. I think I figured something out.
Nice.
I think so. The guy, I was watching a video and this guy was doing exactly what I do. Like when I'm coming down, it's a whole thing. I know nobody cares. So
He knows exactly what you're doing. You're coming. What?
So
That's where you stopped, or like when you're doing what? I golf in a very serious
when
way.
I'm coming down on my swing. I was like, holy crap, I do that. But that's besides the point. Well, I'll let you know how it goes. But I also did you guys see that whole Morgan Wallen situation as well?
I heard about it, yeah.
He got arrested for throwing a chair off of a bar roof or something like that. Like he's facing up to 6 or 7 years in prison if he gets
I'm sure he'll serve them all.
I'm sure he'll serve.
None. He's going to prison.
I thought that was funny though. It's just like, what are you thinking, dude? Like you just had this big scandal not long ago, and then now you're just a drunken mess. Like what is going on? But
was it at a college frat or
no? No, it was at Eric Church's bar. They like just opened.
Smooth.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's my buddy's bar. Throw a chair. But also, somebody? No, it came close to hitting some cops, and then it ended up that's kind of where it happened. That's kind of where he got convicted or whatever.
Because he almost hit cops.
Yeah, like it was
it's an endangerment thing, man. Yeah, you can't throw chairs off of buildings.
Yeah, they could have
6 years in prison.
You could kill somebody.
Yeah. And it's on an attempted assault on an officer too, basically.
Dude, imagine how you'd feel if you were just walking by and out of nowhere a freaking chair split your head in half, and you're in the hospital for 6 months.
But it was Morgan Wallen, man.
Yeah. I got free tickets.
He signed my chest.
He said last night he let the liquor talk.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. But also, there was under this synagogue in, I think it was in New York. They found this secret tunnel, which ended up being, it ended up being, it was like obviously illegal for them to be doing this, but it started in this apartment complex, and people were hearing like Hasidic Jewish people talking like in the walls, and so they were like going crazy. Like they're like, I can't just go to the property manager like, hey, I hear some Hasidic Jewish people talking in the walls and shit. But it turns out that they were tunneling underneath the apartment complex, and they got to the synagogue, and they ended up getting found out because somebody ended up like just saying something, and they looked into it, and like 6 or 7 kids got arrested for it, for doing this tunnel to the synagogue. But I thought that was hilarious. It was just like, could you imagine just sitting in your apartment and just you're just hearing like just Hasidic Jewish people talking, and you're like, what is like, it was a dude on ground level. He was like, yeah, I could hear people talking in the walls, and I didn't know what was going on. He's like, I thought I was going crazy. And it turns out that he wasn't going crazy, and that there was people underneath him talking and tunneling underneath his apartment.
I mean, I guess that'd be a relief.
Yeah, I'm sure he was like, oh my gosh, like
I'd be freaking out.
There'd be some scary stuff. Just laying in bed at night and just hearing like construction work and a bunch of Hasidic Jewish talk. Oh, going fucking nuts, man. But yeah, that was my weekend.
That was
Nice.
part of your weekend?
I was a part of I was part of the guys digging.
You're one of them. Like, hey, you guys digging something over there?
I took up
Need help?
Babbel, so I was able to communicate pretty well.
Nice.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor. Yeah.
No, my weekend was good. It was laid back. It was nice. Spend time with my wife and daughter. Kind of laying low for now. We're just kind of saving up some money. But honestly, I wanted
With your broke ass.
with your broke ass. I wanted some takeout, but we ended up just grilling out instead.
Grilling noodles.
Yeah. Ramen. Did you ever get grilled ramen? Sunbaked because we couldn't afford the
Dude,
propane.
buying a house in this economy, you'd be lucky to have ramen.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said? It wasn't on the propane. We didn't have enough money for propane, so we sun grilled it.
Sun grilled. You want sun grilled ramen tonight, honey? Put it out before we go to work.
So, but you know who didn't grill out was 32-year-old Aaron Brown.
He has no grill?
No, he went out to Chipotle in Southfield, Michigan. According to WDIV, the 32-year-old Brown was upset about the serving size of his guacamole at a Chipotle in Southfield, Michigan. Brown first called a female employee a derogatory name. Then he walked behind the counter and got him some extra guac. This is when another employee tried to stop him, and during the scuffle, Brown shot the man in the leg.
Oh gosh!
He shot the employee in the leg.
And that means I'm getting more guac.
This is how you scoop guac.
He did have a license to carry, but obviously that's not a reason for self-defense. The craziest part about it is that this all went down right across the street from the police department. So he's in charge. He's charged with assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder.
Salt, a little pepper,
Little guac.
All
little
over
guac.
the guac, huh?
With
All
intent
over.
to serve himself.
All because the employee did not give him enough guacamole.
I wonder how much
That's insane.
he tried to give him. You know what I mean? Was was
Well,
just
it
like
was
a
a-
little baby scoop, like she was pissed off that day. It was
Right.
just like,
Right. It's
You'll
so
get
hard to
guac
know.
for $3.50.
The thing is, they didn't know the customer was more pissed off than they were that day.
Right? No kidding.
That's the chance you're taking. You know,
Yeah.
that's the chance
Oh,
you're
yeah.
taking in those situations. You're pissed.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, throw a couple in there, whatever. But they're more hyped than you that day, so you
Clearly.
get shot in the leg.
Like, now listen, you're gonna get me some more guac.
You're gonna get this whole guac.
Like Denzel in Training Day, you just got the two. Now, here's what I'm thinking. You know?
or the coach from The Water Boy. He's like, now I don't want things to get physical.
What you gonna give me, more guac?
Oh man, how's your weekend?
It was good, man. Before I got into the weekend, though, I wanted to show you guys a little something. You know, as you know,
It's herpes.
Hey, dude,
I've been working on this for a long time.
I've
I've
already had to bleep out swear words. I don't need to start
Blurring.
blurring
Well,
out body parts.
Does this look
anybody
like something
who's
you
watched, And as you guys have had to watch live and recorded every week, notice I hang a flag up every week. I got a new flag.
Oh.
Check it out.
Oh.
Whoa, look at
Yeah.
that.
Nice. I
Look
like
at that.
Sick. Your
You like
big ass
that?
head's covering the whole
And
thing.
also, boom.
Oh,
Check that out, baby.
You got Eclipse? You got the Eclipse shirt.
I got it. And I got two. Two more, baby.
Hey,
One for each
nice.
of you guys for your birthday, because your birthday's this month.
Appreciate it.
awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah. BDE Podcast and Media. Find it at the Pacific Asian Festival in Grand Rapids this
This
summer.
June.
This June.
Not out of the question.
Hey, so
That's awesome.
did you hear Dean? He said you got an Eclipse shirt.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Is that the Eclipse right
You
there?
got an Eclipse flag too. Got that big.
The
ass
Eclipse
flag.
flag, Eclipse shirt.
That's sweet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, nice.
It's like had to get it done. So I got you guys one. Where was I? Birthdays. Yep. So back to the weekend. I got to take the kids to that place we couldn't go to on Easter.
Oh yeah.
They had an awesome time, man. It's like it's really like a McDonald's play place if you multiplied it by like 100. Like it's just a big play place, like really big. Fun time. Kids really enjoyed it. Lots of birthday parties going on. Wide mix of people. I ended up having to climb up to the top with the kids because they're like, hey, and you can go through it with them if you want or whatever. They wanted me to come up there because they wanted me to go down this really big slide. It's like 10 feet wide. I don't know, like 20, 30 foot down ish.
Okay.
So they just wanted me to go down with them at the same time. And so like we get up there and I'm in the middle of them, dude. And it's something to get up there because you gotta get up to do some maneuvers to get through some spots that are made for kids that you're trying to get through. But I mean it was fine. So we get up there, I'm in the middle of them, I'm holding their hands or whatever, and we go down, we go down the slide. But I was getting closer to the bottom of the slide, I kind of like leaned to one side, almost like kind of like a baseball slide position to like kind of get myself ready to get up as we like hit the bottom. And the butt cheek I'm on, leaning on, is like dragging, like to me, and it feels like my cheeks are getting like ripped apart, dude. I'm like my way down, and when dude, it was like hurting. I'm like, oh, dude, like for the last like 5 feet, it was just like So when I stood up, it looked like I caught like a cramp or like a Charlie horse or something, but it was just my ass. And it was so weird. And I guess I was wondering if you ever had a weird injury or have had that happen before.
Well, I mean, is it because of our high cracks or?
I don't know. Potentially. But I went to one side, like I was just kind of bracing myself, getting ready to like pop up when I got to the bottom. And when I leaned to one side, like it's just like my one cheek kind of stayed back while the rest of me was going forward. I was like,
you were open for business on the way down that
I was like, oh no. I never asked for this. I didn't expect that to happen. That's the last thing that I thought was going to happen. And so I was like limping around there for a second. I'm like, this is crazy. So I didn't know if you had anything like that happen before.
I did today. As a sign of getting old. I was working and got out of my truck and like I put my right foot because it's a ProMaster, so it's kind of high up for these little guys down here, and and I got down and all of a sudden like my hip just kind of like locked up, and I was like ah. And there's like 3 people in front of me. I was like, oh, and just a random like pain in my hip, and it went away after like I don't know 5 minutes or so. But I like they all 3 of them looked at me. They all went, I was like, I'm good. Just old.
Dude, it just catches up to you like that.
No, no kidding. No, I don't think so. Other than like, I remember when I was a kid, like we had like streamers in front of like the doorway, and I just went like running through it, but there was a pole in the middle, like to separate the doors or whatever. And it was like, boom, just smacked it and just dropped. Other than that, I mean, that was pretty embarrassing, especially when you're that age, you know.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
other than that, I can't think of any right off the top of my head. Not opening myself for business at a kid's play. That's for sure.
Dude, that was wild to me.
I've had that situation happen to me twice, Dean, where one as an adult and as a kid. The one as a kid, it was at Kellogg Arena, and they had like glass doors, and I was running and just bam right in front of everybody's face first.
like one of those mirror mazes.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was just
a big
glass wall.
Just run right into it.
And then as an adult, I've done that too, where I just kind of walked into a glass wall face first. I'm not what you'd call a smart man.
I ran into a regular wall face first, and it busted. Remember, this actually happened a couple months ago. I turned and hit the wall and like busted my nose. I had a boner too, so my nose still hit.
Oh, nice.
Good times.
Good times.
Well, I can tell you, whatever ails you, there's certainly a cure, and you can always start with our friends over at Adobo Boy.
Oh yes, Adobo Boy. We all love Adobo Boy, and if you go, listener, you will too. Adobo Boy is the official sponsor of the Wake Up with the Sleeper Boys podcast. Dean, Eddie, and I, Filipinos, as you know, we love a good Filipino meal, and Adobo Boy delivers just that. They have amazing food and vibes that I say every week are unmatched in the food industry. If you don't believe me, go there and experience it yourself. Dean and I went there a couple weekends ago, and awesome time. Dean, I don't know if you had a good time. It seems like you did.
Great.
Yeah, it was because Ace and Jackie made us feel right at home. The food was absolutely amazing. The vibes were amazing. Not only do they have delicious food, they also go against the grain of a traditional restaurant and tinker with their menu to bring in an amazing variety of Filipino cuisine. Their menu rotates weekly, so there's always a reason to come back to try more authentic Filipino food. And if you're wondering, I'm adding this in right now, how you can find out what their menu is. They put it up on their website at adoboboygr.com, and they put out what they're going to have that week. And 9 weeks out of 10, you're going to get that delicious, iconic Filipino dish, Red's Adobo Bowl, pork adobo bowl. Iconic Filipino dish, iconic Adobo Boy dish if you go. Dean, I know you love that adobo bowl. So you can describe it if you want, but let us know.
You know what I keep forgetting to add to it, which I'll explain after I start this. So it's tender pork braised in soy sauce and vinegar. It comes on a bed of rice with Jackie's achara or papaya salad and with cucumber, but it also comes with a fried egg on top.
Oh yeah,
I keep forgetting about that. Nice and Uzi runs through it. It's fantastic. It's sweet and salty, everything that you'd want. It's worth getting two if you like to mix like my two brothers here, or eat it as Ace recommends it, and eat everything separate, which is what I do. Worth getting two just to try it for yourself.
Yeah, I completely agree. And if you are into trying new and different food, or just like some amazing adobo and vibes, stop into Adobo Boy, where owners Ace, Jackie, and Red are amazing people who genuinely care about your experience there. Eddie, hit them with the 3 pillars.
You definitely get 3 things every time you get there. 1, you get an incredible experience. 2, you're gonna get incredible food. And 3, just as a cherry on top, you get 5% off.
Oh,
5% off after you've already had a great time and great food, just by saying BDE Sports Talk Podcast. 5% off just by saying BDE Sports Talk Podcast. It's unbelievable, honestly, that you could say that and get a discount anywhere in America, let alone at a place that has amazing food and an amazing atmosphere. And you get 5% off by saying BDE Sports Talk Podcast.
That's all you got to do.
Visit there. Do it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
do it.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't go just to get 5% off, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times we got to tell you how delicious this food is.
Yeah. Do it today.
Just go.
Today.
We'll tell you every
Do it.
week.
And if you're wondering, well, Bill, Dean, Eddie, when are they open? I have no idea. Adobo Boy is open Tuesday to Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch. And then they reopen from 5 to 7:30 for dinner. On Saturday, which is probably when most of you will be able to go, 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch, 5 to 8:30 for dinner. I always suggest going early because they tend to sell out, especially on the weekend, of different items. You know, they want to make it fresh. They want to make it good for you. They don't pre-make a lot of stuff. So you're definitely getting a heck of a meal at a good price and that 5% off. So Adobo Boy is located at 3740 28th Street, Southeast Kentwood, Michigan, inside the amazing Myanmar restaurant, which, by the way, I'm gonna inform everybody right now. The actual grand opening, they have been open, but they wanted to wait for warmer weather. Their grand opening officially is Saturday, April 20th, starting at 11:30, and they said they're going to go until they run out of food or 8:30 rolls around. So they would like you to know, as far as activities go, get ready to sing your little bitty heart out with some karaoke, groove to the beats of the DJ that will be there, and also be mesmerized by live performers. We don't know who they are, but it's going to be a surprise. And you might...
Bruno Mars? Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
The boys from Wake Up. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Same par. Same excitement.
Yeah. So if you haven't been there, Saturday, April 20th, 11:30 till they run out of food, or 8:30, be a great first time to go. Be a great time. Happy time, fun times. So get there, get fed, get happy. It's always better at Adobo Boy.
Oh boy. Has all the good food, man. Makes me hungry every time I see their food pics. But it got me thinking, because earlier this week there was a very small debate on hot dog toppings. Basically mustard or ketchup, right? And I said typically I only use mustard. The person said ketchup, and he had said, yeah, because ketchup is just better on a hot dog. I said, that's an opinion. To me, they're just completely different flavors. Like, I'm not sure I put one better than the other. I just think they just taste different. Ketchup is ketchup on a hot dog. Mustard's mustard, right? I mean, that's how I view it. I don't think one's wrong. I just think it's a different flavor.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
And it kind of got us into foods that you would or wouldn't eat. And I told him that as a kid, I used to eat those little canned sardines, anchovies covered in mustard. Like they had little mustard covered sardines. And they thought that was pretty weird. What's that?
Like the ones Mom used to eat, like on rice.
Yeah, I actually was the one who got her to get the ones with mustard because I had them from a buddy at school.
Really?
Yeah, when I was in 3rd grade. Do you remember? I can't remember. I can't imagine you remember. He's passed away. His name Vincent. When I was in third grade, he was like 5.5 foot tall.
Oh dang!
Like he was like a big. Yeah, it was just a condition, right? And he was like my best friend at the time. But he liked them, and I was like, yeah, I'll try them. And I was like, I love them. So we were just mustard sardine eating fools out there. Everybody thought we were freaks, but it was like whatever. So that made me want to ask you guys: there's something weird or different that you prefer or you like to eat?
Not really as much these days, but like when I was a kid, I like to eat peanut butter and mustard sandwiches. That was my thing. Thinking about like I can remember like the taste, like what I was tasting, and thought about giving it a shot. It was.
Are you thinking about it again?
And savory. I mean, I thought about trying it, but I don't know, man. That seems, now that I'm in my 30s.
I think if I were you, I would feel like I'd have to.
I mean, I haven't had that since I was like maybe 8.
How often did you have them?
I used to eat them. I remember trying to get you guys to eat them, and you wouldn't do it.
Really?
I remember asking you, like, you guys got to have some of this peanut butter and mustard. So we're like, no, get out of here.
Dude, I do not remember that.
Yeah,
wow.
No, that was my weird thing. Other than that, I mean, I've been
like that's exactly what I'm looking for, right? I mean, that's just different, but it's not like crazy.
It's not like a huge leap,
I've never heard it before.
No.
Well, like apparently I have heard it before.
Oh yeah, I mean,
from you. I just don't remember that at all.
Be like, make me a cheese sandwich, put some pepper on it or whatever.
What? A cheese sandwich with pepper?
Yeah, something like that.
That sounds good too. Shoot, I don't know.
No, that was my thing.
I don't think I've ever had something where I'm just like want it all the time, but I've eaten like hot dogs with peanut butter on top. I think that's pretty good. Peanut butter, mayonnaise, and banana sandwiches are pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like that's the weirdest thing because I don't like a lot of like, I don't like mushrooms, olives, tomatoes.
Right. I will say I did have there was one time when I was like maybe 18, 19, something like that. And I was hungry and there was like really nothing in the house, but I was broke. So like I found this like packet of like dry mashed potatoes, and like made those, but it was just like, man, it needs something, right? And I just kept adding different stuff to it. Like anything I could find in the fridge, I was just adding to it.
And there was one ingredient I had on me that I hadn't tried
yet. One
I
emptied myself. Some call it country gravy. I called it Dean's sticky sauce. But
so what was that, Dean's what sauce?
Sticky sauce.
Oh. I thought you said stink sauce.
Oh. That would have been better.
I don't know. It's all funny anyway.
And I ate like half the pan of mashed potatoes before I looked at it. I was like, this is disgusting. And I just threw it all away afterwards. But I mixed like a bunch of like ketchup and barbecue and
anything. Into the taters?
it needed something. It just wasn't hitting, you know. What I
Not
mean?
salt, huh?
Butter,
Butter.
salt, butter, pepper.
What
That
I
would have
wanted
done it
was
for me.
was like chicken or something. Like I needed like a protein with it, and there was nothing there, so I was just adding.
There's no
I
peanut
thought
butter
might-
and mustard
So
now.
you ate
Yeah.
ketchup? You know what? I I don't have chicken, so I'm gonna put ketchup in my sticky sauce in there. That would be enough protein.
and my stink sauce.
Trademarked
Yeah.
BD Podcast and Media.
Yeah,
Dean Stink Sauce is one and
Yeah.
only.
It'll be available for merch here soon.
Tablespoon at a time.
Yeah. Guaranteed freshness for 30 days.
Really, you're guaranteeing that?
Guaranteeing the freshness, trust me. I get it right in there.
Said nobody else ever.
Somebody had to say it, am I right?
No, nobody said it.
Nope.
You need help again.
Yeah, per usual.
Well, I think every person has at least one weird thing they like to eat or do, right? But nothing quite as weird or controversial as the next edition of Dean's Conspiracy Theory of the Week.
So this one I took off of a commenter on TikTok, on one of our TikToks. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Is over the total eclipse that happened. That I guess at this point has somewhat been debunked in a general sense. Both parts of that one. So that's a good thing because we're still here talking about it today. So
Yep, so happy.
the commenter had mentioned a place in Europe called CERN. It stands for the Council of European Nuclear Research, and what they do is that we're testing out a large hydrogen collider that's underground that can help, like, I'm assuming it's for like energy purposes, like how like in the third Batman, like he's like, I got this machine, you know what I mean, that could solve world energy crisis. It's something like that that they've been testing out, that they were doing, that just so happened to coincide with the total eclipse that had happened on the 8th. So it sparked a bunch of conspiracy theories about that. It's the world's largest and highest energy particle collider ever made. And it, like I said, it coincided with the eclipse. The thing is with that is that a lot of people think that it is a way to, like, there's theories that you can like time travel through it. There's a lot of different theories that go with it because of the particles and like how fast this thing goes, and it's like light speed type of stuff, to where for like energy purposes, so they say. But where the real conspiracy comes in with that, they believe that they were attempting to summon like a demonic entity with this thing, since it was with the eclipse, because back in 1904, on the same day, April 8th, an English occultist called Aleister Crowley had made contact with this demonic entity on this day using a collider at the time. Obviously, it was probably a lot less techy than it probably is today. So that's one of the theories, where people think that they were trying to summon something, maybe like end of world type of thing. If those fault lines that I'd suggested in the last one had happened, maybe people would start thinking about that. But mostly because but people keep talking about the eclipse with it like it's a big part of it. when in reality, I mean, this collider is 100 meters underneath the CERN facility. So that's where the demonic entity stuff starts coming into play. But the eclipse, I don't know if people think it was just something where they were just trying to hide it with the eclipse in that total of 4 or 5 minutes or whatever it was, an hour or whatever, where it was slowly going across. Another thing that people had been talking about why they think this is another thing for a demonic type of scenario is because they have statues in front of their building. One is, it depicts Shiva, which is a Hindu deity who is said to have danced the universe into existence. Some use the sculpture as evidence that they are being used for dark universe manipulating antics. But in the end, where the Shiva statue was actually a gift from India to celebrate their association with CERN at the time in the 1960s. And so a lot of people think that, but there's also this video that has popped up that popped up a few years ago, 2016. But there was a video of a bunch of people, like occultists, surrounding this statue in front of CERN and like worshiping it, and I guess, and to like help summon like a portal to hell or like the Antichrist or destroy the universe. And it shows the video in the end of the video, because there's somebody recording it from like a distance, where the person by the end of it, I'm assuming they see him. He ends up crying out, like yelling and screaming, and then just running away at the end. So that's where I don't know if that's exactly what the TikToker or the commenter on TikTok was talking about, but those are a couple of the theories that have gone with this whole CERN thing. And I thought it was pretty interesting because I've heard of like those large colliders before and people, trying to sustain energy for the world type of thing. So I thought it was pretty interesting. It was a good call out on his end.
So you said how far down are they?
It said it was 100 meters under the ground.
Wow.
Under the facility. So, I mean, that's pretty far. I mean, obviously for safety, measurements, because if that thing like explodes or even though I think it would still blow up the ground because it's such a high energy, big thing that I couldn't imagine that it wouldn't blow up everything around it. But at least if it's underground, I guess it would. Obviously, it makes it easier to contain, heat and stuff doesn't really get to it as much. I imagine that probably plays a role. Things like that.
Could you imagine being 100 meters down below?
No, I couldn't imagine when we were driving through the mountains.
300
and my ears were popping. And I was like, it wasn't very far off the ground.
What do you think? I think to the edge of our atmosphere on Earth is like 11 miles up or something.
Yeah.
And then down to the core is like another 10 or 11 miles.
I heard it was, to the bottom of the ocean, it was like 6 to 7 miles.
Yeah, but
the deepest part of the ocean. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Are you sure? It's off the coast of the Philippines, the deepest part.
I thought that's what I had read, but I see a lot of stuff.
But no, that sounds right. Yeah, like somewhere from like 6 to 8 miles down.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know, 10 miles up. It's like it's not that far.
No, it really is. If you really think about it in a grand scheme of things, it really is. I'd watched a video of Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about that and how.
Yes, that's where I heard it.
Is that probably where you heard it?
Yes.
Yeah. And how like the ocean's only been, they've only, what do you call it? Discovered or searched like only a certain percent, like 3% of the entire ocean has been actually researched and looked into.
No, the one I was watching was how smooth the Earth would be as a ball. Because somebody like couldn't believe that. And he goes, well, you think we're only like the atmosphere's only like 11, So there's like a difference of 11-ish to 20-ish miles between the top and the bottom
Yeah.
of what we got going on. He goes, it'd be smoother, like it could put the earth down to like the size of a cue ball. It'd be smoother than that.
Yeah.
He goes, and
Yeah.
that was hard for them folks to like fathom. He goes, that's just where we're at. I was like, all right.
Right. Yeah, it gets into that crazy
I
talk.
love you, Neil. I do. I really do. You ever
Yeah.
listen to Star Talk?
No, I don't.
It's a good podcast, man.
Is it?
That's,
I'm guessing
his.
it's with him.
You can listen to that podcast after you listen to ours.
Yeah. Dude, if he was a guest, that'd be huge.
Just so you know, 6.78 miles is the deepest part of the ocean, which you said is somewhere between Guam and the Philippines. 35,814 feet.
It's crazy.
It's a long
No.
way down. 7
I
miles
mean-
deep underwater.
Yeah.
That's
Welcome
insane.
to Davy
about.
Jones' locker.
Davy Jones locker.
I mean, just think. Driving like you're just driving normal on the freeway for 7 minutes straight down. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
say
it's
that we know. They say we know more about space than we do about our own ocean on the planet. Which is sure they discover new animals in the ocean all the time.
Dude, that's just
Yeah.
some bull, dude.
Yeah, it's just some bull.
That is. How could you possibly
Well, the
know
space
more
around
about
us,
an
not all
infinite
of
growing?
not all of space, but the
expanse.
space around us.
Yeah, sure. You might know enough about where our satellites are around. You can't say space.
Well, they did have one. They did find lights on a planet about 3 trillion miles away. I don't know if
Oh
you
yeah,
saw
what do
that.
we
I
know
s- I
about
saw
that
this-
other than they were lights?
Well, they were city lights from like a planet, like what ours would look
City
like.
lights? They
from
confirmed that?
distance. Hey man, this is science. You can't argue it.
You can, and you
You
should.
really? Is that true?
Yeah, no, that is true. They had found because what was I can't remember that the thing they sent into space in like the 70s. I can't remember what it's called. But it's still
Shuttle.
going.
Neil
Something one. Well, they sent it in space and it just kept
The Odyssey
going.
or
Like,
something.
something like that. It was supposed to
Yeah.
like die after a certain amount of time, but it's still going and it's still sending photos back from where it is. And it's obviously the farthest traveling thing we've ever had in space. I mean, it's been going for 50
That's
years.
crazy to think
Yeah.
about.
So in like
Isn't
I
that crazy?
I had
is
seen a
crazy.
thing where they were like, when they say they don't build things like they used to, like, I mean, that's kind of proof of like, because they haven't made anything that could travel anywhere near as far since. And obviously technology is a lot more advanced now than it ever was then. But
It's crazy to think about. I mean, obviously, if you know that we're not the only forms of life, right? Like in the grand scheme of things. But like to like have like some sort of proof that there's like a planet with lights on it.
there, I think you can find the picture. I think you could look it up and find
That's
the picture.
crazy.
Given there's a lot of theories on like the moon and you know what I mean, like so there's
Like, is it
also that too.
cheese?
As a conspiracy theorist myself,
Is
I
it
have to
actually cheese?
I have to ask all these questions. Okay, is it though? But I mean, it's a cool picture to see. I mean, if it is real, I mean, it's a cool picture. But so yeah, that is the conspiracy of the week.
Oh, and double guns. Okay, all right, here we go. Another week, another conspiracy, and another day where I'm left with doubts about the entire world we live in.
Good. Welcome to my world.
But one thing isn't in doubt, and that's the enjoyment that is brought during another round of Bills Balls games.
So sweet and innocent.
All right, I felt like we needed to get away from the Family Feud for a week or two. I don't know. No one comments and lets us know if they like it or not. And who knows if they even listen to it? I have no idea. No idea. If you do, comment. I know there are people that listen to it because they tell me that they like the podcast, such as my wife. She's like, "Oh, I listen." She goes, "I listened to it, and it's actually hilarious." She goes, "I love it." It's like, "Oh, well, we have 8 episodes, but whatever." So, anyways,
comments you missed out on.
It's a full work day.
Supposedly, her friend watches it, Stephanie, and she says she likes the fact that you called it Bills Balls games.
And I like the fact that she likes that I said that.
And I like the fact that he likes the fact that she likes that.
You don't like it as much as I do.
You're right, because I hate it. But it's better than Little Willie.
It could be worse.
All right, anyways. This week we are going to go with the game over under. Okay. Different subjects, different pretty simple. It's either over or under. If you're listening, if you're watching, play along, comment, let us know if you beat Eddie and Dean. So, are you guys ready?
What a high bar.
Yeah. High bar. You guys ready?
Ready.
Sure.
All right. Here we go.
Over.
Under.
One of you is right.
Hell
World
yeah.
record for the most almonds eaten in 1 minute. Over or under 50?
Over.
Oh, over.
It's under. The current world record for almond eating, according to Guinness World Records, is 40.
Really? I guess it is in 1 minute. It would take a lot of.
I've done
Is it full nut? Is it a full nut? Is it a full nut? Tell me, is it full nut?
Full.
Is it? You put it in the sticky sauce.
Throw it in my mashed taters.
All right, next one. Total number of medals the United States won at the 1980 Winter Olympic Games. Over or under 50?
Total number of medals.
Yeah, not just gold medals.
Yep, total number of medals. Over or under 50?
I'll go under.
I'll say over.
It's actually under. The United States boycotted the 1980 Olympic Games.
I gave it to you.
which were held in the former Soviet Union, so the medal count was actually 0.
So I knew that.
All right. Super Bowl halftime shows that featured marching bands. Over under 20.
Featured marching bands at the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl halftime shows.
20.
Go over.
I feel like it's over. I'm going to say under. Sake of competition.
You said
It's
under?
over. Yeah.
It's under.
Oh.
Out of 56 Super Bowls, 18 featured
Oh.
bands during the halftime show. So that, you guys keeping track of your score?
I have 1. And Eddie has 1.
No, I have 2.
You too? No, you
I
don't.
got the first one right.
We both got the first one wrong.
No, I got the first one right.
1-1.
It
Okay,
was
got it.
1-1.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't
I
trying.
think it's 3-1.
All right. Over under 40 bathrooms in the White House.
Man, it's a big house.
I'm gonna go over.
It feels like an over answer.
It does.
It really
But
does.
it's probably an under.
I'm not gonna let you talk me into the under, but for the sake of competition, we'll go with
The
under.
last time
We'll
you
go with
went for
under.
the sake of competition, you got it right, sir.
Dude,
So over for Eddie, under for Dean.
yeah.
It's under.
That's right.
There are 35 bathrooms in the White House.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Over under
a lot of people.
70. Keys on a piano.
I think it's over. Yeah. Let me go with over.
I'll go over too.
It is over. The standard piano has 88 keys.
I was thinking like 100. But you're not asking us for numbers. Huh?
Over under 50. Countries in Africa.
Under.
Let me go over. For the sake of competition.
Over. There are 54 African countries recognized by the United Nations. 4-2.
So there's a lot of small ones.
All right. Over under.
Yeah, there is a lot of small ones.
Like right in that corner.
Over under 15. Dean's up 4-2. Average lifespan of a polar bear.
Say 15.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say
Over.
I was gonna say under.
It is over. The average lifespan of a polar bear is 20 years. 4-3.
I was thinking pit bull. I thought you said pit bull. My bad. I just
That's
misheard the
pretty
question.
close to 15, I bet.
Yeah, it would be.
That's probably like 12.
All right.
Something like that.
So it's 4-3.
For the sake of
Okay.
competition.
Over under 20. Over under 25. Rides at Disneyland.
Under.
I think that's right. I'll say over for the sake of competition. over.
It is over. It's 29.
I'm trying to go with the obvious answers now. After I was thinking about it at the beginning, like,
Five.
oh, I should go with the other answer.
Okay.
Now I'm an idiot.
You played a 7. 5-3. Over under 50. Slices of pizza eaten annually by the average American.
Over.
Oh, it's
It's going to be under, though, isn't it?
It's over.
Because it seems like over is the easy answer.
I probably ate 50 slices of pizza last week.
You're not the average American.
I've eaten 3 today.
I thought I saw this answer too, and I'm like, it's under. It's 48.
Yeah.
Really?
Of course, it's
The
of
average
course it's
American.
under.
48 slices of pizza a year. I'm like,
Did you
man,
go under for the sake of competition?
No, I said over as well.
What?
I thought it was way over.
5-3 still. Over under 65. PGA Tour wins by golfer Jack Nicklaus.
Feels like over. Like barely.
Sake of competition. We'll go with under. I know it's over though.
5-4, Dean. It's over. 73 PGA Tour wins.
I thought it was 72.
It's 5-4. Played a 7. Over under 7. Petals on a wild rose.
7 on
Over.
a wild rose. Over.
I don't want to just keep saying for the sake of competition, but I'll go under.
It's
It's
under.
what it is. Oh, I thought it was 8.
A wild rose has 5 petals. 6-4. Dean has a chance to close it out.
The pressure. It's getting to me.
Don't let it get to you.
This is
All
damn
right.
double points.
Double points?
Over,
Over.
under,
Going over
30.
no matter what.
over, under, what?
I'm going over no matter what.
Over, under 25.
Over.
Canadian Nobel Prize winners.
Easily over.
It could be
Easily.
over.
I can think of 27 off the top of my head right now.
I would go with under.
It is over. It's 28.
Oh, you're close. See, you hit 27. And
I thought so.
6-5.
Who's the one I'm missing? Did Trudeau win one?
Of course.
He probably did.
Over, under 13. World Series that have been won by the New York Yankees.
It's over.
It's a trick question. It's 13. I'd say over as well. It's the Yankees.
Dean wins. It is over at
I said over also.
Yeah, but he had 7.
Oh,
He had 7.
you also get a point if we guess it.
Yeah. Yeah, 7-6.
It's not
Unless
good.
you wanna
Gave him
win
a
by
softball
2.
to finish the game, huh? So what, they have 17? I thought they had 18. What is it?
According to this, it's 15.
Oh.
So
I was gonna say, I know I've won a lot. 13 sounded low.
and that is Bill's balls games.
Nicely done. Great work as always, Bill.
Thanks.
Well, that'll do it for tonight's episode.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's all of it. Please hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Thank you as always for hanging out with us on Wake Up with the Sleeper Boys podcast. Take care, everyone.
Watch the video.
Here we go.